Over here at my baby mom's house, eating her cherries that she bought. Cause, so we're like, oh, there's a banana. Tomorrow that banana's still gonna be here. And she used to do this, like, for years. Like, probably before we ever met. She was doing this. It's like a childhood, probably like an childhood issue based habit that she's had forever. Where, I don't know, she had like there was hungry kids in the house, or like a food deprivation in her life at some point. But these are all symptoms of that, where people get like a food hoarding. Where they had like a periods of food deprivation. Another food hoarding. But she and I'm like, maybe it has to do with like they didn't want to finish the last one. Like, she had a lot of sisters. She's like a Mexican, so she had a lot of people living in the house. And maybe it started with like early life, when it was like they didn't want to finish something because it would be like maybe they've had their family social structure. They would get like in trouble for eating all of something if they finished it. So she doesn't want to finish things, but she'll eat like here's these raspberries. Like, look how many raspberries is in here. There's like, what, 10 freaking berries left? Like, the little corner, like less than, like probably a fifth of the berries. You see what I mean? See what I'm saying? She's got like barely any or no fruits left in this box. This box will sit here with like barely any fruits in it until these fruits look like freaking mushrooms. Like, and they're already like kind of gooey. Like, they don't look good. They don't look fresh. But she does this, and I lived with this for years and years, and I would just eat the food. Like, I would, like, took it upon myself to just finish it. But now she moved out. She wanted to go to her apartment, and she's still doing the same shit. She's got like, here's these things too. These, like, what is this? Like, you gotta save 7 of these little fruits. These, they almost make sense, because it's like, these are like, where you eat one. The, rambutan. But you eat one of those, and it's like, I feel like you already had too much. And they're like, kind of weird shape. But if I come back in a week, they're still gonna be there. And she'll do this. She'll be like, "Oh, don't eat my butt." Don't eat my whatever. Like, I really feel like it's almost like it comes back to like a CPS case home, where it's like you have to have the food staples, like, to pass the CPS inspection. But it's like, here's fruit. But here's the newer version of the same kind of fruit. The older one is like significantly old. I'm like, what do I do here? You just leave it here? I already know what she would say. She's gonna come and she's gonna scream at me. Oh my god! Yeah, you're supposed to leave it there! You didn't even fucking leave here! Like, well, my fucking kid still lives here. Look at this fucking mess in the fridge. Like, that one, dirt. They all got fucking mold going on. Like, what am I doing? Like, trying to harvest fucking berries, like, going through an old thing of berries, like, trying to find not mold. Harvesting the least fucking moldy berries in fucking baby mama's house. What do I gotta fucking deal with? I feel like, and then, of course, she took this when she left. That's her favorite fucking thing. Nobody knows about it. Pretty sure I bought it, but whatever. Pretty sure that we were supposed to share everything for her whole life. And my dad always said, don't get married, don't get married. But I think he was projecting the wrong goal. Like, he should have just said, marry the right person. Marry the right person. Because I don't know. Maybe, I mean, they say it's like, maybe it's just luck, but I mean, she wasn't a freaking altar girl or whatever. It's not like we met on a fucking church mission. Or she was the singer for choir and I was the bassist at choir. Like, I feel like I could have picked better girls. And I push on my kids, like, just pick quality, like, partners or whatever. Just pick a quality person, because it's kind of like unrealistic what my dad used to say. Don't get married. Like, I feel like that he was pushing it was just an unrealistic goal. I think that might have even been his point, was he thought it would be funny to push an unrealistic goal. Like, he had like unrealistic standards for what he expected. What he expected, or what he said he expected, was an unrealistic standard. And what he picked, my mom wasn't that fucking great of a woman either. Like, it was almost like he just took a girl that he could get. Like, maybe because he has a really bad attitude, a lot of girls wouldn't put up with him. And I'm kind of seeing the same thing where I have a really bad attitude. I, like, really what I think, this is like talking to girls now that I'm divorced and everything. And I'm like as pretty as divorce gets. Like, I'm at my baby mom's house. We got no kind of like court anything. There hasn't been a court date. There hasn't been anything. Like, everything was just handled like completely civilly and everything. So it's none of the tragedy that I saw my parents go through and that my ex saw her parents go through. But she tries to make a battle out of everything, make everything into a fight, but she was doing that when we were together. Everything was a fight, everything was a battle. It was almost like when I gave up on fighting, that's when she just left. I almost feel like that. Like maybe if I just kept making issues, making fights. But I'd like just stop fighting. I was like done fighting. I didn't want to fucking hear it. I feel like part of it was I was always like a full-time poker player. So I'd be, if I wasn't playing on my phone or on the computer, on the internet, and was always playing poker, some kind of form of poker, then I would be out. A lot of the times I'd be out of state. Like I'd be really searching for like premium games, and it is like a the thing about poker is that they say it's a skill game, but really there's a really big hunt to it where you're looking for a premium game. And a premium game would be places where people are losing a lot of money, because anything you win, somebody else loses. So there's got to be somebody who has a lot of money to lose, who is losing, because the winners, they're going to be consistent. There's not a lot of consistent losers. But these losing players, they'll come to town. And what's funny is they'll hit in places like almost by season. And you'll see them in Vegas, and there'll be like an influx of players that aren't local to Vegas that'll come in and play. What's funny is living in Vegas, I kind of thought that um, the people that play poker in Vegas are just good at poker, period. Like, it wasn't like the bad players are coming to town because it's Christmas weekend. Like, bad players will play craps. They just won't make it past the crap table. So, but you basically, with the poker game, you want these crap players to come into the poker room and sit there and lose just a ton of money, and you're going to be the one sitting there winning it. That's the ideal. And so I was going to places where I thought that was happening. And gone a lot. And then the thing was, and she didn't have any problem with me being gone. And I worked it into her schedule to where I'm picking up the kid and everything. It was like days that she had work or her work schedule, like where she could pick up the kid. And if I don't have anything else, and I would go somewhere, play these card games. And what's funny is I started lying. And this is to stop her from asking, because I almost felt like if she was asking, it was almost like she was trying to start a fight, because she would ask me if I won or lost. If I won, she would make me go buy something. It was like, oh, you won? How much did you buy? Or how much did you win? Oh, you won this much? Well, you should go buy this. So whenever I win, I'm going to buy something with the money. And then whenever I lose, that in itself is just a fight. Oh, why did you do that? Why did you go and play? You should have done something else. You could have been here. We could have been watching TV together or whatever. So it was like, do I want to tell her when I won? That's what hit. That's like kind of what hit me. I was like, do I want to tell her when I won? Because I know either way I'm gonna get like punished for it. There's not an award. There's not a, oh, you won something, time to get a freaking BJ or something. It was, if you win, you got to go out and buy something. If you lose, you just get bitched at. And so if she asked me if I won or lost, I would just say I lost. And so now she thinks that I'm always losing, which wasn't really true. Like, I was still winning. Win some, lose some, win some, lose some. I never really kept track. I bet if I go back and look at all my bank statements and look at all of, like, the other thing is I really can't keep track of what I was spending because I was spending all the cash. But I know I wasn't spending a lot. There wasn't a point where I was just like, buying like amazing expensive shit. I mean, I guess I do have a lot of expensive shit, but I don't know. It's hard to keep track. I don't know how much money it was. I just know that there was money. But anyway. painful one to talk about. I feel like it's stuff that I could have talked about. Like, I've been taking like a. It's probably why I'm talking about it now, because I've been taking like a divorce group therapy class thing, basically. And I feel like I haven't really talked about it with those people or public. Maybe I did. Maybe I have talked about it way too much. But it's just a tangent going on. But where was it? Yeah. My dad was always like, don't get married, don't get married. And then, of course, I get married. I was like dying to get married. I was a teenager. I was like gonna fucking marry anybody. All the girls are so fucking pretty. Oh my god. Especially when you're a teenager and all of them are teenagers. Now I look at them and I'm like, holy crap! Every 20-year-old girl is fucking beautiful. That's why. That was my problem. My problem was every 20-year-old girl is beautiful. But of course you're gonna marry. But now I'm like, and what's funny is my dad, when he got divorced from my mom, who the thing was, my mom wasn't that great either. She wasn't like, I mean, when she got married to my dad, like, there's like some things, there's like some bars where like, so like saving yourself for marriage, like, okay, in American society, that's really not totally common. Uh, it's common, but it's also really common to like, just wind up hooking up with somebody like in high school, college, whatever. Very common in the US in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, up till now. Like, it's really common. It's not an Islamic country or like a radical any kind of religion. It's not uh, like Christianity or Judaism laws, like religious law. It's called like law, biblical law, or Islamic laws. They don't. They're not enforced by the government. They're they're somewhat. They're not even fully enforced by social structures. Like, I think, like saving your virginity for marriage. If you fail that, you might get kicked out of like the Mormon church or like other like religious organizations. But I don't even know about that because I've talked to like Mormon girls who were not very I haven't hooked up with a Mormon. I don't think I've ever hooked up with a Mormon. I've hooked up with a lot of girls in my life, but I've never hooked up with a Mormon girl that I can remember. So maybe Mormons got it going. I don't know. Never hooked up with a tribalist African girl either. Like, and I don't think that that's really like a that important of a target. Like, sure it's important, but anyway, my mom didn't do it, and so I'd almost think, and part of the story is that my dad did do that, like, was holding back for marriage. Supposedly, that's what they were saying, but I think if he really was holding back, he would hold back and like only get married to a girl who did too. He would have went with all of the chips. You know, he would went all in with all of his chips. He couldn't be like going partially all in by like I'm gonna mostly save myself for marriage material kind of girls who are probably gonna get married with. Like that's probably just not. But you know, that's not how my parents operated. But I don't know how much that would change because it might not change anything. It might just be that that ceremony and stuff like that. It kind of like labels and speeds up the process of, and in the end, somebody's leaving somebody. Like somebody's gonna be walking out the door, going somewhere. Like who's holds back from that? Like I don't know. I don't know the difference. Nobody knows. I think it's all like warning signs. Like it's almost like trying to guess who's an alcoholic. Like who's gonna be just have to have a drink like every day or whatever. Or and it's funny because like they talk about this with the alcoholic people. Is there's people that just have to have a drink every day, but it's one drink, but they have it every day. That's an alcoholic. And there's also alcoholics where when they drink too much and they act like an asshole. And they're both alcoholics. But it's almost like, so, but then they lump them all together and just deal with everybody that has any kind of alcohol, whatever. Like, just lump them together. So then you got all those alcohol people. And then they also have like, anyway, but this is totally going on a different tangent. But it would be like, so they say you can't really guess because most people, like I do this, like most people will have a drink. Like, here's this beer. It's like a really good beer, right? So, you know, they drink it, you drink the beer, like, okay, it tastes good, you know, whatever. It's a good beer. Maybe even you get drunk every once in a while. You drink too many beers. Now you're drunk, right? And most people, they'll drink too many beers, they'll get drunk every once in a while or whatever. It's like a, you know, or maybe they'll get too drunk for a whole week in a row, right? But you can give it up. They can just stop. Or they'll have one drink and then they'll just stop. Or they'll have one drink like 3, 4 nights in a row. It's like, okay, it was Friday, and then it was Saturday, then it was my friend's birthday, and then it was somebody else's birthday, and I had to drink at all those places. And then I just stopped. Like, and I feel like it's the same way with like a relationship thing, where it's like, you can't be like, okay, this guy, like, he is this certain way, so we're gonna guess that he's gonna get divorced. Like, you can't be like, okay, they're gonna get divorced, they're gonna get divorced. Like, you'd even look at like, there's got to be relationships where it's like maybe they're from different backgrounds, the same backgrounds, like they're talking about like keeping the religion in the marriage. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of couples, and I've heard of these kind of people where they go to church, and when they come home, it's not everything that you could hope for. Or like the husband is like a priest or preacher, and the marriage fucking doesn't work out, one or the other, but in public it looks great, but then when they get home they're just screaming at each other, kind of thing. And there's different issues for people. I think the whole thing about people is the issues. I think that's what makes us the entertainment juncture for the gods, is that we are so different and have such a variety of personalities and a variety of like the ups and downs of everything, that there's these opposite sides of religions, there's so many things to argue about, there's so many things to fight over. I think that's all what makes it more entertaining for somebody to watch. That's how different everything is. And how it really, like, there's so much that it just doesn't add up. Like, there's things that add up and there's things that don't really add up. And there's, like, just so much variation, so much differences in the details and everything like that. The way there's like the different tribes of people, like how people for the longest time they've been like inter-tribe breeding, and then they like started mixing, and then how the mixing came in, like, and the rules on mixing, like mix with the tribe of another female, and they're mixing with a male, but that's like looked down on. Then like stopped. Taking a look down. There's so much like especially when you look at history, like all of the variation. It's an entertaining subject.